All right, let's get right into it. Most of the conversations happening right now about AI, they're kind of stuck. They're all circling around one question that feels super urgent, but honestly, it's missing the real story. So today, we're going to completely reframe that whole conversation.
And this is it, right? This is the big, scary question on everyone's mind. You hear it everywhere, in the news, in meetings, probably at your own dinner table. And look, it's a totally natural fear. But what if I told you that's not even the right question to be asking anymore?
Seriously, focusing on that simple job replacement idea is like trying to drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. The economic shift that's already happening is so much bigger, so much more interesting than just a simple one-for-one swap of a human for a machine.
So why is it the wrong question? Well, because it assumes that the nature of work itself is going to stay the same, and we're just, plugging in a different kind of worker. But the change we're seeing is way deeper. It's about the fundamental value of thinking itself.
Think about it. For the last 100 years or so, our whole economy has been built on this one idea, that high-level thinking, what we call cognitive labor, is scarce. It's hard. You got to go to school for years to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. And that very scarcity is what made those jobs so valuable.
And this is the question we really need to be wrestling with. This is the heart of it. Forget just replacing jobs for a second. What happens to everything, our companies, our careers, our economy, when a key ingredient, competent reasoning, suddenly goes from being rare and expensive to being abundant and almost free?
So let's really dig into that. Whenever a resource that used to be rare suddenly becomes common, the entire system that was built around it has to change. It's just a fundamental economic law. And that's exactly what's happening right now with knowledge work.
And here's the key takeaway. The work doesn't just poof, vanish into thin air. No. Its value gets completely recalculated. The different pieces of a job get unbundled, and the market starts paying a lot more for some skills, while others suddenly become commodities.
This really lays it out perfectly. We're moving from a world where even the routine thinking stuff, like drafting a simple legal brief or writing some basic code, was valuable because a trained human had to do it. But now, in a world of abundant reasoning, those tasks are just table stakes. They're cheap, they're instant, and the real value has to go somewhere else.
And this is the most important part to get your head around. Whenever one thing in an economy becomes abundant, something else, by definition, becomes newly scarce, and therefore way more valuable. So, if reasoning is the new cheap thing, what's the new scarce thing?
Think of it like a production line. The bottleneck, the part that slows everything down, is no longer the initial act of thinking up an answer or creating a first draft. That part of the pipe is now wide open. The new bottleneck, the new thing that's holding us back, has moved somewhere else entirely.
So where did all that value go? Well, it flows to the stuff that AI just can't do, the truly human layer. We're talking about making a high-stakes judgment call when you don't have all the data. Being the person who is accountable when something goes wrong. Building real trust with a client. We're just taking a brilliant plan and actually making it happen in the messy real world. These are the new premium skills.
Okay, so we get the shift, we can see where the value is moving. But just sitting around and worrying about it, that's not going to help anyone. Freaking out is not a strategy. What you need is a clear, actionable plan to adapt to this new reality.
So let's get super practical. We're going to lay out a 5-step playbook for this new world. These are 5 smart moves that you or your whole organization can start making right now to really succeed in this age of abundant reasoning.
Okay, here's the plan. We're going to walk through each one, mapping out your work, getting really good at checking the answers, systemizing your unique know-how, redesigning jobs, and finally, keeping an eye on the right economic signals. Let's go.
First things first, you got to audit your own work. Be honest. Draw a line. What parts are just routine, repeatable reasoning that an AI could probably handle? Like, say, drafting a first-pass analysis. That's your commodity zone. And then, where are the high-stakes decisions where your reputation is on the line? Like deciding if you should launch a product based on that analysis. That's your judgment zone. The game plan is to throw AI at the first zone and keep human oversight for the second.
In this new world, coming up with an answer is the easy part. It's cheap. The truly critical skill now is validating that answer. This means you have to build a serious discipline of verification. Are you checking the sources? Are you having another AI critique the first AI's work? That kind of healthy skepticism, it's basically a superpower now.
Now, this builds right on that last point. If AI can handle all the generic stuff,
Your real competitive advantage becomes your organization's unique way of doing things. Your secret sauce isn't just one brilliant person anymore. It's your proven checklists, your specific project workflows, your unique decision-making models. You have to capture all of that, systemize it, and make it your official playbook.
Okay, this one is a huge mental shift for a lot of people. We have got to stop measuring work by looking at hours logged or tasks checked off a list. That's the old world. The new model is all about measuring outcomes and, this is key, who is ultimately accountable for them. Who's the person that signs off? Who owns it if there's an error? In a world flooded with cheap answers, accountability is a premium service.
And finally, if you really want to see where the future is heading, you have to stop looking at yesterday's news. Job loss numbers? That's a lagging indicator that tells you what already happened. The real story is in the leading indicators. Where is the investment capital flowing? How is productivity per employee changing? Those are the numbers that show you where the smart money is betting the future's going to be.
So let's bring this all together. The big message here isn't just to passively use AI like it's just another app on your phone. No, it's about actively and deliberately rebuilding the way we work from the ground up.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The real win isn't just about adopting a new tool. It's about fundamentally rethinking your entire process for a world where this tool exists. The winners are going to be the architects of entirely new workflows, new job descriptions, and new team structures.
And that's really the bottom line. In a world that is just awash in AI-generated ideas and analysis, your true defensible advantages, your protective moats, are the things that are still scarce. Your team's ability to execute in the real world, the trust you've earned with your customers, and your willingness to take ultimate responsibility for the outcome.
And so we'll end by turning that big question back to you. And this isn't a rhetorical question. It is the strategic challenge for the next decade of your career, of your business. Because how you choose to answer this, well, that's going to determine everything you build next.